That's right, Malmö, as it would be called here by the locals, or perhaps by the other people across the bridge, known as the Danes, right there, the next door neighbors. We're about to get a glimpse into Astralis, one Danish powerhouse that has just come off a major victory, catching an L in New York, and then looking for some redemption here. And they're going to try to get it over G2. Gamers 2 has been an interesting run, and more importantly, it's an even interesting couple of faces we see with them right now as they do get set up here, and that's not what they looked like before we arrived.
No, that is interesting, Trace. And I received a couple of messages. People aren't happy with your pronunciations.
Oh dear.
So what we've done is we've actually brought Jacob here as the local Nordic person. Production are going to love me. So we're going to play this, Jacob. Trace, turn your hearing aid up. Listen to this, and then we'll see who pronounces it better out of the two of us.
Okay.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Hold one more. It's going to go again.
Malmö.
Okay, you hear it?
Yep. All right, go for it.
Malmö.
Malmö.
Chat without a doubt.
What's he rounding?
Malmö.
He's rounding the start of
Malmö.
it. I'll take the victory.
Okay, say cash. All right, then. That's what I thought. Next up on the docket is G2 versus Astralis. Just like I said, one best of three. This is an upper bracket best of three. So both these teams have already found success. We can take a look at Group A. And yes, it is Malmö. But we have arrived. The loser qualifies to the arena quarterfinal. Should they make it down that way?
Sure, and this is a group with no real big surprises there, Zaid. I think ENCE beating Fnatic, that was somewhat to be expected. Vitality beating Tyloo, I think everyone in the world would expect that. Whereas for G2, Furia could have gone both ways, and obviously Astralis taking down ENCE, that was to be expected as well. So no real big surprises in this group, whereas if you look towards the Group B, we have a funny situation going on.
It's a mess, isn't it?
Oh, it is a bloodbath. Did you know that there were 4 million people that lived in Malmö?
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 Nah, I didn't know that.
I'm done, sorry. Carry on.
Where do you want us to go with this one?
Well,
do you want to talk Astralis? Do you want us to talk G2?
Well, I think, like, overall, if we just look at it, I think that there is some actual reasoning behind all of these teams and being a favorite to going into this one. One, you've got a new team smell on G2, right?
Yeah.
But then again, it's Astralis we're talking about.
Well,
maybe one of you guys
my
have
page
three
of notes for G2 literally just says G2 at the top because they...
It says G...
And then the 2.
G2,
yeah, because, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it, Nexa and Hunter joined last night. So these guys didn't practice at all. And here's how I know. Kenny, Malik, Jax, and old mate Amanek were literally on the aeroplane behind me. So these guys haven't played together other than today. Their first game that they ever played of Counter-Strike was an opening game of a DreamHack Masters that they won.
Let's do it this way. Jacob, I want you to give me 3 reasons why this is going to be a good matchup to watch.
Yeah, I got you 3 reasons why this is going to be a little bit too much for G2, I feel. First off, we touched a little bit upon it. Lack of practice, basically. This is a team that has not played together yet. So the fact they haven't practiced together, the fact they haven't played together, that's going to be a big problem. Now, the second reason is, you know, the communication and the synergy in between. The players, obviously, no practice, no synergy, but when it comes down to communication, we have a French squad who's about to speak English. We've seen that happen before. Not always the best scenario, so I'm curious to see how Kenny is, how Amanek, and the rest of the guys are going to communicate and basically build up the synergy when everything has to be in English, not really what they are known to be good at. Now, third reason is the fact that they're playing Astralis. Let's be honest, it is one of the best teams in the world, and Astralis is one of those teams that always seems to beat the less good opponents for whatever reason, even if they're having a day off. So good luck to G2.
Yes, good luck to G2. They are absolutely going to need it. But hey, who knows? Maybe coming in here with the conditions that they have are most optimal for them.
Can I jump on point number 2? Because I walked past Kenny as we were coming into the venue today, and I said, Kenny, what are you going to do about the English situation? He goes, with Jax, because specifically Lucky in his goodbye from being benched said good luck to Jax playing with an English team. Now, to me, that reads as Jax doesn't really speak a lot of English. But according to Kenny, he plays a bit of FPL, so in terms of communication for Counter-Strike, it should be of that level. The problem becomes, right, and you get this every time you join a new team, right, Jacob? It doesn't even matter if it's with Danes, but you have to name every single position on every single map. And even in Australia, when I would play from my team to a different team, you'd have different names for certain things or different ways that you'd call stuff. So for these guys to have to learn in these conditions, very difficult, but no pressure.
I'd like to think that I'm okay at English, but it took me a month or 2 when I was in Liquid to actually, you know, figure out what the certain spots were called and how to properly communicate in English. Sometimes I was a little bit too slow with the communication, sometimes I was a little bit too fast. It took me a few months, so I can imagine if Jax is struggling a little bit with English, then it's going to take some time before they build up that synergy and the understanding for each other.
Well, the synergy has to continue, and moreover, we have to talk about map vetoes, guys. This is our first best of 3 of the entire event, the first best of 3 of this CORSAIR DreamHack Masters. So, let's get a little bit of a guessing game.
I have no idea. I know there won't be any Mirage, right? There won't be any Mirage because both teams are not really huge fans. But G2 in the future, now they have Nexa and Hunter, will probably start playing that map.
I'm willing to bet that there's going to be no Vertigo either. That would be too big of a gamble, right?
Yeah, well, you couldn't. You think about it. If you're Astralis, you're going to pick a Nuke or a Vertigo because there couldn't be any practice done for G2. So G2 are not only at a disadvantage because they've just come together, they're at a disadvantage because they have no map pool. So they're currently going to gravitate towards a Dust 2.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to be one of the I don't want to say puggier maps.
Oh,
but
you're right.
It's very true because they don't have all these protocols. They don't have all these set structure that you would expect from a team, and especially when you're going toe-to-toe with Astralis. Good luck, buddy.
It does surprise me here that Astralis have banned Mirage because they could have removed Dust 2 in this first round, which would have left G2 with very limited options, right? Maybe an Inferno could have been a pick.
You wanted to risk playing Mirage?
If I was G2?
No, if you were Astralis?
Yeah, because I don't think G2 would pick it. Because it's not a map
That's a gamble, though.
It is a gamble, but it's also like you have to look at this team right now. They're a team versus some guys who have been friends, well, they're not even friends, who have been colleagues for 20 minutes, you know? They literally just woke up and it's like, hey guys, let's play Counter-Strike together. It's like if the three of us decided we were going to play. This is great by Astralis picking Nuke. There's no way that G2 can have anything, like in terms of strategies. You think you take Lucky out of the equation, right? That's someone who's throwing a lot of your grenades. That's somebody who's doing a lot of that supportive work. Now, how are Nexa and Hunter or Malik, how's he going to be able to give them enough information on having a decent T side?
Boom. So train overpass gone. That would leave us with the ever-coveted third decider of Inferno.
If we get there.
Yeah,
if we get there.
I don't think that's going to be the case, right? It would be a huge surprise to me if G2 were able to take a map off Astralis. Given the fact that we have Nuke in the pool, that should be a clear-cut case in terms of Astralis. Whereas for Dust 2, sure, it's a map that we define it as being open, a little bit pocky, but if you know how to play Dust 2 properly, which I feel Astralis does, then it is going to be tough for G2 to do anything. You need certain catwalk executes, you need certain ways of basically, on the CT side, you need to be able to rotate accordingly, and you need communication for that to happen, and we just talk about that, you know, that's going to be a little bit of a rough scenario for G2.
Let's talk a little bit about the Astralis side. Obviously, we have our picks and bans in. We know what maps we're going to first. It's going to be Nuke first, so they have to be just a little bit comfortable. We talked about Magisk earlier, but always we find ourselves talking about Astralis in this map of Nuke. But why?
Yeah, the reason is Astralis basically defined the meta on how this map is played. Now that's changed. Teams have actually started bringing it into their pool. They're adjusting the way certain teams with certain smokes. I like to say they've turned it into a bit of an aim map. But Astralis have the best protocols. And if you want to learn how to play the CT side rotations on a map like Nuke or on a map like Inferno, watch Astralis because they have the best blueprint for basically everything in Counter-Strike. Now, you can look at that result in the top right corner. Maybe you even stayed up late and you caught it if you're from Europe. The ESL1 New York final against EG. They lost to EG now twice on this map the last 2 times that they've faced on it. And over their T sides in that, they've only won 4 rounds over 2 maps. Now, that's not great, but that's against one of these other teams we consider the best in the world. For G2, there's promise of this roster. There's always a chance that there could be, you know, this team coming together and somehow magically it all works out. There's a chance for that. But right here, right now, in this game, there is no chance.
No chance, even if somehow G2 start that CT side, which I'd assume is what's going to happen.
I would hope they pick the CT side. That would be a massive blunder if they pick the T side.
Yeah, because, I mean, from the look of it, it was a slow T side start there from the side of Astralis. I mean, CT side start from the side of Astralis.
It's going to be extremely rough for them no matter what, right? You can say, yeah, if Kineas is having a great game, he gets off to a good start, he gets established the AWP and roams around the map, sure, they can gather a few rounds, but you'd expect Astralis to have more in the pocket, you know, different stretch, different ways of playing Nuke, different way of basically avoiding Kineas if he's having a good game, or avoiding Nexa if he's, you know, deciding to turn up. So Astralis, they should be in a comfortable position here, and I think the entire team is relatively happy for the pick of Nuke.
Now, I don't know how many people just caught it. Obviously, we're zooming on the wrist there, but Dupree just turned his head and yawned, and he was actually just in our green room when we were having a bit of a chat, and I said, Peter, how you feeling? Are you tired? And he went, nah, just had a power nap, so maybe a little bit tired. So for those who aren't aware, a lot of these teams, including G2, not Nexa and Hunter, were just in New York 48 hours ago. We've all come here on an airplane. I don't know, mate. I don't even know what the time is. But the point is that today we were expecting a lot of crazy results, and that's definitely what we've gotten. And speaking of crazy...
Yeah, speaking of crazy, here's Nexa, one of the new players for G2. And if you're living under a rock, if you haven't been checking the Twitter sphere, it is now Nexa and Hunter, also known as Nico's cousin.
And the cheapest buyout ever.
Yeah, you know what is crazy? The fact that it may not have been bought out yet, right? We don't really know whether they're officially part of G2 or still, you know, technically part of Crazy. But fact of the matter is they are here and they are playing with this lineup. And, you know, sooner or later it's probably going to happen. Whatever that's going to be in court or by money, we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, the courtroom might not be necessary. But I guess on the other hand, if that is necessary, at least you had this test buy, which was DreamHack Mass Test, right?
Yeah, if it didn't work, yeah, you can have them back. It's fine. We don't need to go to court after all. But all in all, I think this right here, when you're having situations that are going to become a little bit cluttered, let's say Hunter and Nexa are dead. Well, the rest of them should communicate in French. When the Frenchies are dead, these guys should be communicating in Serbian, right?
Bad thing.
No, it is long term, but for right now, Jacob, you're playing Astralis.
Sure.
Let's not condition ourselves in our opening tournament. Let's just try the best we got.
Okay.
Let's give it all we've got. And by that, I mean, let's see if Jacob picks someone other than Astralis to win this map.
I'll do 200 push-ups in front of the camera if Astralis does not win 2-0.
200 straight?
I can't do that. Let's say 50.
Okay.
In 2 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
That's a decent amount of time.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got Astralis.
2-0.
Pretty obvious. 2-0 straight
I don't
away.
even want to talk about it, yeah.
Do you say they get double digits on either map?
Probably not.
Okay. I mean, that's not part of the bet. I was just curious what you thought. What do you got, Chad?
Yeah, I think, common sense is going to prevail this time around. I will be going for Astralis. It's not that I don't see a chance. Kenny free is very exciting. Hunter getting to play a map is really exciting. Maybe when we move to Dust 2, we can start to see what those prospects truly look like, but Nuke is definitely in Astralis' back pocket, and Dust 2 should be as well, so the Danes are taking
Just to get it out there, I think for the future, this lineup of G2 could be interesting. I think there's a lot of potential within it, especially when you consider Nexa being the in-game leader. I think he's shown time and time again that he's good at, elevating the players around him while also elevating himself as a player. So for the future, yeah, sure, I'm on board with this G2 project. For now, though, they're facing one of the best teams in the world, if not the best. So good luck with that.
Yeah, so good luck with that. That's basically the way I would say it too, because obviously I'm going to have to pull for Astralis in this one. I'm not quite the mad lad that you thought. I am slightly jet lagged. Starting to feel a little bit heavy eyes, but that's completely okay. My eyes do not deceive me. It's going to be Astralis toppling G2 right now, right here in a best of 3. And to do that, we're going to change our storytellers up just a little bit. Our commentators have fresh faces, and they're going to be going by the name of Momo and Anders.
Creamy bears.
Oh, we get to talk. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
I didn't think we were... Now they can banter us back.
Well, I don't know. It was sort of a weak send-off, wasn't it?
I just wanted to say hi. I wasn't going to banter or anything.
No banter or anything?
No.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm
this
good.
Morning, this evening, afternoon? I don't know what time it is. But
it's an afternoon. It's an early evening, perhaps maybe as late as we'd go. I'm feeling great. We questioned this when we were in Cologne, the chicken/Angry Bird thing.
Yes.
It is the official Counter-Strike mascot of G2 Esports. I forget his name. He has a Twitter account and everything. I believe it's a he as well. I'm not sure.
They've made it a whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of appreciate that level of dedication. Fair enough.
That's fair play. You can't argue with it. But obviously, we'll see if it brings them any kind of luck. Those odds don't look great. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not inspiring confidence.
No, unless you obviously bet for G2 and you were looking them to make some
moolah.
Yeah, make some cash back. Maybe then you're feeling excited about the whole prospect. But how was your flight? You came from Stockholm.
Yeah, it was a rough flight. It was.
Did you actually fly here or take the train?
I flew.
Oh, okay.
It was over an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's real short.
Like an hour and 10 minutes.
And I took the train in about 50 minutes to get to.
Right.
So it's really, really easy.
So we're feeling much better than the rest of the crew. Props to them. We've all been there. They've done a great job here, surviving the travel. And we can forget about all that now. Astralis versus G2. Best of 3 starting right here at DreamHack Masters. It's going to start off on Nuke. Anders, do you see any hope for G2 in this matchup?
None at all.
Okay.
But it would be exciting, wouldn't it, if we turn out to be wrong about that. G2 going to be starting on the CT side, Astralis on the T side, and mostly just armor on that G2 side, a kit and an HE, and Astralis are sneaking on the outside. And they have P250s to the long-range fight as well.
Look at this stack towards ramp room. 3 players in ramp room. Hunter's going to be close by as well. He's up top, and he spots outside, so the stack actually, and to all of Astralis, just goes away from it. Now they can drop down. They can set up a defense in that lower bomb site, but it all depends on Hunter's communications. That's a great shot in the window. He's going to swing out for more. Now he's forced away.
That's a great shot to get started with. Nicely done. Hunter able to back off. He's low on health, but being alive in a pistol round like this, especially with the USPs, it's still pretty good.
It's also important to get that kill, because if they had found Hunter there and then they can attack ramp room, then the players who rotated to that lower bomb site become very insignificant in this round. So at least you've kind of forced them back to either go through mini, back through lobby, maybe through secret, and actually Astralis all split up. Magus and Zip playing together. Device and Glaive split. 1 in CT spawn, 1 heading to lobby.
About 40 seconds on the clock. Smoke set up there. Usually could plant inside it, but they're not really committed to it right now, and they've lost Glaive in the meantime, so now it's real tricky, and they're swiftly running out of time. There is a flag coming in, and Device going to be able to pick up that kill. That's huge. That's what they were waiting for all along, and now it's really paid off. Device spotting 1, maybe 2, I'm not even sure, but now they're definitely going to know, and that HE that was actually on the G2 side before, it's going to be used against them. What a pickup. That's going to win the round. Hunter left on 1 health. That's a great flank out of Device.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, that was the key to splitting up in that fashion is you know, the main attack is coming to that lower bomb site. Once the smoke goes down for the plant, all of G2 is responding. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if Astralis goes for that kind of a T-half, you know, spreading across the map, because you're really going to test the communication of G2 with 2 players they haven't played with yet, 3 players who are flying in from New York, probably a little bit tired, and also no longer speaking French.
Yeah, I mean, I even feel like this would have been impossible for, well, let's just say for Kenny like 5 years ago. That I just don't think that would have been a good time.
No.
Now, it's fine. You know, his English is great.
The first time I met Kenny, yeah, about 5-6 years ago, he couldn't speak any English. Now he's great. Now he's phenomenal. So,
that's interesting. It's a wild experiment. Maybe that is what it takes to save the French scene. Maybe that's what happens, you know?
What, changing the language to English?
Yeah, just or maybe bringing in a little bit of outside.
A little bit of international mixture?
Just a little bit, right? I don't want to take all the drama out of it. I kind of like that. I actually like that part of it.
I mean, that's interesting considering, you know, the French don't necessarily enjoy doing things like that.
No, not really. It's not what they're known for. But, you know, on the other hand, maybe they just want to get back to the top, whatever it takes.
I like that mindset. I would really enjoy seeing that. Slow pace from Astralis. Zipnix is clearing all the corners towards ramp room. Glaive has quietly snuck behind this smoke wall. He's met up with Device, and still this defense, this investment from G2, they haven't seen anything. They're just waiting for this execution, and they don't really have the information quite yet. And again, a little bit of a split attack from the Astralis side of things, and Device is about to test and challenge this corner, and he's going to win that in a big way. He'll even take the 1 shot from the Deagle.
Could have been a great kill for Kenny to pick up, but that's not going to happen. And now they've kind of just been sandwiching the B-bomb side a bit slowly to start with. Now they've sped it up, and it's looking just fine. Glaive with the double on the UMP, going to give him some extra money to work with. And Jack's 1 bullet would have been enough, but no such luck.
I think it's really cool how Astralis played that. I mean, it is, you know, kind of like an anti-force buy, obviously, but you have the 2 players going downstairs, and you have Zipnix like leading the way towards ramp room, but they don't actually move to attack ramp until Device wins that fight lower. It would be interesting to see what the call would have been if Device got picked off by Kenny's Deagle, if he took, you know, a 1 dig to the head, if they had some other idea. Maybe then they go back towards upper, and then you have that second player who is in secret split in through mini as well. So a couple different options for Astralis in that setup.
How do you like this setup, though? 4 HE grenades on the G2 side?
It doesn't look like it's going to do much. Oh, if they could get this off. I don't know where they're going to throw those nades, though.
Oh, Dupree's going to be jumping almost right on top of them, and then that grenade in return, if they'd walked into it, it would have been beautiful. Yeah, I think they obviously wanted them to come outside, and that just didn't really happen.
Dupree really busted that up, didn't he?
Yeah. So, I like the idea. SMG's getting a fair bit of work in some of these rounds for the Astralis side. And only losing Dupree so far. There'll be more happening though. Astralis taking a little bit more damage than you would want here.
Yeah, now they gotta be careful. They have the Krieg, they have the AK-47, it's time to fall back. You've been aggressive with the MAC-10 on Dupree, the UMP on Glaive. No big deal in losing those weapons. You get some bonus money with them as well. But now preserve the rifles. And it shouldn't be too hard, although Amanek is the last player who can pose some kind of a danger. Molotov out, Device is going to be behind it, wide angle, and he's got it through the fence. But he's trapped. That Molotov actually pins him up against the wall. I don't know if the bomb blast is going to... Yeah, they're all fine.
It's close on a couple of players,
but... It's a cool idea.
Yeah, you like to see that kind of thing. Even just, I mean, it is rare that it works, but if it does, especially, you think, just given the hectic and slightly frantic state of G2 right now, maybe that would be the way to get early back in the game. Just get a nice grenade stack going.
The G2 chicken's name is Pascal.
Pascal, like the physicist.
Yeah, or yeah.
All right. That works. I think that's fine. That's good.
Hunter with an opening frag and also smoking off the door, but the utility usage to gain control outside. Amanek, a lot of pressure with that Molotov. And there's dupreeh once again wreaking havoc from the rooftop. Oh.
Magus back with the Krieg. Now a 3-on-3 here in the 4th round. The first real test where G2 actually have rifles, and Jax is on a great flanking mission, and Magus is kind of looking for it, but just the fact that if he goes to look for it, Magus, he's aware that something could be up. Jax seconds away from completing this. If he gets the kill, that's the bomb down, and that's going to be a huge one. Really well done.
Well, now look at dupreeh's position and look at Device on the minimap. They're so spread apart, so it's got to be Device to essentially go get that bomb all on his own with very little help from dupreeh. It's also going to eat plenty of time off the clock because you never know if Jax might have stuck around. So Device has to be careful. And with dupreeh up in heaven, you have to imagine they're going to try and split this bomb site, this upper bomb site.
Timing is everything for dupreeh at the moment. Kenny turning around for it, looking just at the right time, and at least he's got the information. 30 seconds, and that should tell him a lot already. The bomb is outside. They knew that all along. I guess they can probably figure out what's coming next. A little bit of a grenade that does nothing at all to Kenny. Device throwing it behind him, essentially. And now 19 seconds. dupreeh, don't even know if he could do much of anything here, but I don't know. They needed to get rid of Kenny inside of that bomb site.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, 2 players in that bomb site as well, so Kenny had options. He had a teammate who could save him as well. So first round for the defense of G2 is on the board. 1-3, and I mean, Astralis is going to be okay with that. They have plenty of money built up from those few rounds, so they're going to buy right back into it, and the defense still right on the edge. They're going to be missing nades, missing some of the weaponry they'd like to have.
Cool seeing a flank out of Jax, and he sort of, you know, got the kill, fell back, didn't really want to risk it, leaving it in a 3-on-2.
That's kind of the cool thing about this matchup. This could get very scrappy. I don't know if you saw that tweet earlier from, hold the thought, dupreeh gonna try and get down the vents, and Glaive gets taken out. dupreeh has made his way downstairs, he has the bomb, and he's just gonna try and get a quick plant, and he's got it.
Wow, that is unbelievably quick. 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock.
Look at the rest of his teammates. They're all outside. Like, if he goes down now, that could be so sketchy.
Yeah, they can't really stop a defuse. That's absolutely right. Weird gap out. They must be so confused right now, G2. They must be thinking, like, this is so odd. Why is there a wall of smoke being set up outside after the bomb plant? I don't think anyone can actually explain that. I think that's just confusion all around. Sip finding the brilliant lineup and taking down Nexer and Hunter, and if I'm G2, I don't know. I might even call for a timeout just to try and figure out what's even real anymore.
Well, the crazy thing was, you could see, I mean, G2, even when the bomb's planted, they're taking that fight outside. And honestly, I don't know whether that's the right or wrong decision, because how often do we see a scenario like that? Like, we don't see that play out too frequently in that fashion. 3 players outside at red box after the bomb is planted for that T side, and I don't think you know, G2 ever realized there was just 1 player downstairs until it was too late, until those players actually got in a position to help out. So risky, it works.
Yeah, well, we all know time is really not a linear construct, and they prove that. They say we'll plant the bomb first, and then we'll throw the smokes outside as if though we're getting to the bomb side. It's actually quite clever. They're playing the round in reverse, and G2 just never even saw it coming. Next, close, but Hunter with the FAMAS instead. Gonna pick up 2 kills, and what a brilliant defense. I think Astralis this round gambling on the idea that they weren't going to have that many grenades to stop a straight A rush, and it wasn't even the grenades, it was just Hunter with that FAMAS, and that was it. Well done.
I will say, as much as this new lineup, it just seems like you have such a tough time against Astralis, obviously this early in its lifetime. I'm really excited to see Hunter and Nexa in this roster. I'm just really excited to see them on a team that is going to be at the top competitions always.
Yeah, it's so hard to judge, isn't it? I think they're great players. I have no idea about the internal chemistry of a team like this. It's so hard for me to guess at that. Now, I will say that I think it does sort of reveal a cool fact about G2 maybe as an organization, you know, to sort of be able to say, you know what, like we were willing to even do a slightly crazy experiment because, you know, we have motivations that, you know, we want to get to the top, right? So I appreciate that. I'm on board with it. It's just that
this is just too early.
You just don't know where it's going to lead, right?
That's the fun. The fun part's the journey, Anders.
I agree. It's going to be really fun to keep an eye on. Hunter beating Magus to that fight, even though it looked like he was in a worse position, actually, and he had the M4, but well done. The grenade landing right on top of him. That's kind of a sad way for that to end, because he had done a good job already. Now, if they got all three inside of the A-bomb site?
Yeah, and actually Device, Glaive, and Zipnik's coming outside. Almanac just coming up the vents. He might want to retake that position. He finds the fight in towards lobby. It's just Debris holding them at bay for the moment. No eyes outside just yet, but the smoke is going to be indicative of what's coming, and now someone certainly, Almanac might want to drop right back down in the vents because they're going to attack Secret, they're going to attack this lower bomb site, and there's no one here. G2, this is where I mentioned the new lineup, the communication issues might come into play. This is a free bomb site in a 3 versus 4, and no one is really nearby to do anything to stop this, to get any kind of early positioning for the retake.
And they have really no grenades for the retake either. They need a Molotov or a smoke or something to block off some of the angles at which Astralis can try and stop the defuse, and that's a problem. They have plenty of kits, so that part is covered, but yeah, it's going to take them a while to even get here. Flashbang to set it up. Everybody retaking from the ramp side. Device. Oh, actually, it's Glaive instead, and now Sip with the follow-up, and that's where you need the smoke. You need to block off the window, block off the doorway, and it's not happening, and the retake is absolutely gone. Device instead with a double and Sip with a double. And that is... it's a hard round to lose. 4 versus 3.
Well, yeah, 4 players alive and just no information being gathered outside. So those are the kinds of mistakes. These are the kind of rounds that will get cleaned up as time goes on for this roster. But unfortunately here, Astralis has had a couple rounds where they've really taken advantage of the new communication. I was going to mention, there was that tweet from, was it Vacarme, the French news website?
Yes.
That said in like the first game, there was like an audio of Nexa, I think it was, and Jax talking and saying like, "Hey, do you like to play A or B?" And Jax just goes, "Yes." So I mean, they're coming into this just like figuring things out on the fly. So you're going to see the mistakes.
Oh, that's brilliant. I haven't heard that, but I need to find that. That's very exciting. 5. That's exciting too. I'm guessing that's a fire alarm.
It wouldn't be our first experience with a fire alarm at this event. So, I guess we're going to find out with the viewers. You guys are in for the same ride as we are at the moment.
I'll tell you straight up, I'm not leaving this broadcast until the fire marshal show up and drag us out of here.
Or the flames. Yep.
We're gonna be just fine. I'm not even scared a little bit. In fact, I think it adds to the level of excitement. We should do this more often.
It does.
So, 8th round coming up. Jax turning around for the flashbang was a good idea, but he didn't really make it work, and Glaive goes down next. So now it's an even trade. I think Kenny actually managed to do a little bit of damage there. Going past the Molotov. It looks like they're expecting it, and he falls back into Debris, which is definitely not ideal. Amanek trying to run through the smoke there. He could have maybe caught somebody off guard. Didn't really work out. Device falling back to the next corner. Hunter will find him, but it's still not looking good. Next to low on health and walking into the shot from Debris. A triple for him and a 6th round for Astralis.
We are going to, what's going to happen here? We're going to take a quick timeout as we're going to figure this out, and we're going to head to a break, and we'll be right back as soon as the whole alarm situation is figured out. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. G2 and Astralis, and we're back from what apparently was not a fire alarm, but an intruder alarm instead.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a shame because my bravery in the face of the impending fire is now somewhat diminished. I guess someone could try and come and steal me, but
I'd like to see your bravery in the face of an intruder. That's what I want to.
I'm hard to steal. I feel you'd have to bring a couple of people at least.
LoJack.
Yeah.
Something with wheels.
Something like, yeah, wheel me. That's possible, I think. That could be the play. We've got pistols, so we could discuss it if you want. Like, the best way to steal me or somebody else.
Steal Anders. Tuna pizza.
Well,
inside of a cage.
That would, yeah, I think then you're sort of a little bit of luring going on. That might actually work.
Hunting, trapping.
That's not a bad idea. I don't know what the purpose would be of doing it, but...
Yeah, we've mentioned a couple times, you're an ideas man. Like, you don't have any, like, right away immediate, benefit.
Yeah, it's like, so you have to keep me for a while and hope that I come up with something reasonable in time. Yeah, I don't know. It might be a long plan. I bet they would, if anything, they were after something else. Maybe we'll put an investigation.
We should get him on the desk. We'll interview him after the game.
Oh, like, that's a good idea.
What were you thinking when you opened this door?
And how did it feel when that whole alarm went off in the building?
Well, that's actually pretty nice for G2. That one kill and the cover of the smoke. They can actually get away with this AK-47. Kenny's fighting back. There's no chance at winning this round, but they are doing damage, and obviously another gun on the ground, which is very tantalizing. And they can keep Astralis trapped here to go up with the bomb if they can just survive long enough.
Maybe even some more damage could be done. There was a headshot. You know where Dupree was just standing behind that that door?
Yes.
If you stand behind those doors and you look sort of more or less straight up, not completely straight up, but sort of close to, and you underhand throw a flashbang,
Okay.
the flashbang lands on the actual door, like on the frame of the door. Now, from the other side, if you're the guy being flashed instead, you almost can't see it. Like, it just sort of lands.
You just don't really turn from it.
So smooth.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. How long did it take you to find out?
30 hours. 7-2, ladies and gentlemen. And Astralis off to a really, really good start right now. Device playing well. Just the Danes working well on no amounts of sleep, apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the one, thing that you can really rely on in this matchup. That's the only thing you can say that might give G2 a little bit of hope is Astralis. Remember, they played earlier in the day as well. Long day after a long travel and after probably very little sleep for some of these guys. So that might be the one area where you could catch up. But they do just seem very well drilled, especially on a map like Nuke, where even if they could probably sleepwalk their way through some of these tactics. You would have to imagine. Glaive gonna lead the way outside. Again, smokes, a different look of smokes. The wall is deeper, it's closer towards Mini. And Kenny's not peeking up the steps just yet.
Perfect angle for it. They were even aware. You could see they were sort of thinking about the fact that someone could be there. Kenny quick with the AWP. Jax, that's a brilliant headshot. Meg is walking right into it. What a great start to the round.
Here's that strategy that we saw earlier, and I mentioned the setup that Astralis had where they attacked ramp room after Device got the kill and lower. And I said I wanted to see what happened if they died. Well, Device died instead of winning that fight to Kenny S, and they still went ramp and then got beaten up. So they were attacking ramp and lower no matter what in that tactic.
Yeah, it didn't really work out. Jax, so far, has been playing that ramp really, really well. Sort of really limited exposure. Just trying to flash in by time. He's falling back quickly if they come for him. Oh, Kenny, though, that was close.
Especially because Glaive made a noise. I think Glaive was probably a little bit frustrated, and then he was thankful that Kenny didn't hear him. Now we have such a challenge in Hut. Zip's going to go down. Dupree, the only man with a kill, but he is boxed in advance. A third round for G2, and finally, they survive with so many players alive that they can feel comfortable with the money building up behind it, but a long way to go still for the G2 defense.
Yeah, they need to continue this for quite a while. Astralis still able to buy in this next round. So, yeah, there's much more to come. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I've never really got used to the fact that the buy menu in this is that wheel. I kind of want the old list back that just says like 1 to 9 or whatever. 7.
That would be a great addition. I would appreciate that as well. I can still do all the buy binds.
Yeah, well, that's what I want, right?
Yeah. Kenny looking over the smoke, not seeing a whole lot, and they've already made their way downstairs, but they've lost 2 players in the process. But again, they're going to be able to beat the rotation. Actually, excuse me, there is still 1 player who has come down from ramp room in time. Amedek did not quite make it. Hunter is going to go down as well. Oh, this can't be happening. Jax was in position, and it's a 3-on-3 now.
Hunter just watched his teammate get deleted, didn't he, from that position, turning around saying, oh, well, you're gone. And so is Device. Next to pick up the kill, 2-on-3. That grenade doing no damage. I can't even explain it. I don't know how it didn't do more than that. Glaive fighting now a 1 versus 2, and he's very low on health, and he's got almost nowhere to go either. The bomb is in a position for him, but doesn't matter. Nexa with a great quad kill here to try and help out his team, and that will give them a 4th round.
That nade got pinned between the fire extinguisher and that little lip on the wall. It was the smallest gap that absorbed all the damage. Doesn't matter, he went down either way, and a good win for G2. They've now won 2 in a row. And Astralis, even with the plant, going to have to sit back on the pistols. Maybe a small investment, light armor and upgraded pistols, some utility perhaps, but not a whole lot they can fight with. Pretty good recovery from G2 in that sense.
And they've broken the economy of Astralis, so it's all looking
quite nice.
A little bit better now. I think it needed to. 7 rounds on the C side, it's already looking pretty good. They keep up with this aggression, and it's been working out fairly well for G2 in a couple of rounds. Jax had that flank Nexa in the last round, had a similar sort of lobby fight that he won. So they're happy to try and go aggressive in the lobby area generally, but this time when they're up against pistols, you could argue at least be careful.
Well, especially gets some backup over towards Kenny. Jax is here just to make his presence with the AK-47 lurking at a putt. That's going to be all down to timing. Nexa wins it. They know Kenny is at the window. There's a player right above him who can hear all the scopes, all the footsteps, and Glaive, he might be able to make a play out of this. Kenny's got to realize he's there, but Glaive can actually get into the upper bomb site. It's all down to timing here.
Crouched in. I think they must know that this area is really not safe, but...
Yeah, that would be the push in towards Hut. Someone is saying, I cannot cover heaven. Someone could be up there. Someone can get there easily. And yeah, they certainly know it now.
Surprised Glaive even lives through that. Now he's down on low ground, so he's got a little bit of space. And it gets taken away really quickly. Next, so quick to follow that up. Another quad kill for him. Looking to see if he can do better this round, although it is unclear whether he can find Device for the ace. But certainly that would be kind of impressive. That would be 9 kills in 2 rounds. Smoke goes up, and now, well, they know where Device is and everything.
Yeah, Nexa heard it. He's thirsty for that ace. Device looking in towards Mini. Almanac going to crouch into his view. An easy kill for him. He does take 1 bullet, but a 5th round on the board for G2. Pascal's happy.
Doesn't really look it. It's hard to read expressions on chickens' faces, isn't it?
He's happy. He knows there's a long way to go.
All right.
He knows there's still another half.
The look in his eyes, I don't know. It's like they modeled him after the expression you would make if you forgot what the bomb was.
That's exactly what it looks like if you lose track of the most important part of the game.
Yeah. 7-5 and round number 13. And things are really looking up now for the, I guess, still mostly French side. Kenny will open up and take down Magus.
Almanac is going to be out here as well. He can, he's down low in secret. They've actually pop flashed through the wall, so another variation being thrown at the G2 defense, but Glaive takes a little bit of damage. So does Device, and they haven't gained a whole lot of progress, but look how bold Glaive is being. There's a lot of ground to cover here, but Kenny, that's a nice recovery after so much damage is taken, and Jax picks up Dupree. This attack towards Beneath Heaven has not panned out for Astralis whatsoever, but Device is next to try.
Get 1 kill, but that still only lands them in a 4 versus 2, and the bomb is out there as well. Device getting flanked. I kind of like this initiative from G2, not just letting the Danes walk around the map, but making sure they have to be careful about where they are as well. Sip probably going to be walking into this. The gun barrel must have been showing there. Hunter with the 2nd kill. What a great comeback for G2 early on here in this game. 6-7 now.
And 4 in a row for G2.
That, I must say, that idea of putting up the wall and then flashing away through it, a lot of the time you're going to catch someone who's just sort of blindly looking for a gap.
Yeah.
Like especially with an AWP, right? If they're scoped up looking for the gap and you just flash your way through this, that's it.
7-6. What do they change now? Down to pistol, saving for that last round of this half. Molotov in, nade out as well. A lot of damage going to be dealt, but 1 does make it down the vents. Now G2's had a tough time noticing this and rotating into the perfect point of view, but not this time. Almanac is there to shut it all down. And G2's going to get locked out.
That was funny.
Or Astralis going to get locked out.
I would love to see a replay of that. Just Magus running with the bomb, just ready, opening the door. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
It's got no chance.
Well, especially because he's like, wow, it worked for Dupree.
Yeah.
Why did I get wrecked?
Couldn't have been the other way. Dupree and Sip are left, and hard to see how they could do. I mean, maybe some fanciful pistol kills. Even that low percentage. Next are doing a good job there. This is going to be all tied up at 7-7 in the first half, and didn't even look like it.
No,
it looked like it was going to go horribly wrong.
It was 7-2.
Yeah, and then we had the intruder. Maybe he was stealing some of Astralis' skills. I don't know.
You think he like ran in really quick and just like threw water on some of their PCs or something?
Sapped their energy. Planted like one of those voodoo dolls.
So it's like a magic intruder in your world.
Yeah, actually, you think if you knew how to do magic, you probably wouldn't be setting off the alarm as the first thing, right? Like.
No.
So maybe that theory is out the window.
7-7. Yeah, that's the reason why as well. 7-7. There is G2's done a great job with their aggression towards lobby and then falling away from it. You mentioned that earlier. They've been able to find some picks there. Kenny S with the ult pushing up from ramp room. They've had Nexa and Hunter being aggressive in door and in hut. This round is much more passive from the defense.
Similar wall being set up outside. Actually, smoking off the garage as well. So really want to make sure that there's no information to work with here for G2. Kenny ready in case they go up on that container, which is not that uncommon.
No, but they've done this perfectly. 3 defenders focusing outside. Hunter just now making it back to the inner bomb site, but he goes down. It's all Nexa alone inside the site. Good kill towards Mini, but the flashbang is perfect, and it's all Astralis. That is a very nice setup and set piece. G2 just completely occupied by the outside smokes.
We're seeing such a large variance in the way that Astralis has hacked these bomb sites, but even just dealing with outside. It is a lot of fun to see. Jackson at 1 versus 3 is going to be going down, and instead it will be 8-7 in favor of Astralis. We'll go to Frankie at halftime.
Thank you very much, Anders. And now Astralis, a great start. But G2, in their second match as this lineup, seem to be finding their form. But is it a fluke or is it the future? You know you need to stay tuned to find out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half coming up here between Astralis and G2. We're on Nuke, and what a great comeback it was for G2, ending just 1 round behind Astralis. I think they've done a remarkable job. Yeah,
especially from where they were at one point in that half, even though, I mean, it's not a great scoreline, and switching over to the T side now, this is where, if you want to put rounds on the T side of Nuke, and we've seen teams very successful on their offensive sides, like, you have to be prepared, right? You have to know what you're doing as a squad. So I think this is going to be a very difficult half for G2. Everyone's in lobby, all 5 players for the attacking side. And looks like utility towards the upper site. Top of hut, smoke perhaps towards heaven. They have flashbangs, they have nades, and here we go.
Molotov not really going to do anything, but at least they don't have to check the roof. Dupree down on the low ground, still not flashed, and that P2000 can actually do a lot. Immediate headshot and ready to take a second fight. This is a great defense. And Hunter going to go down last. That looks so clean for Astralis. And I mean, if you have those 2 smokes, right, or you have 2 grenades, I mean, you've got the Molotov and you've got the flashbang, you really are banking at least some of the strength on the idea that that's gonna do something to somebody, right? And it seemed like it really didn't.
We only got to see Dupree's point of view, and you could see as soon as he heard the Molotov coming in, he just ran straight and just stared right into the silo, making sure none of those flashbangs would hit him. He knows all the typical flashbangs coming into that upper bomb site, he just dodges them all. Obviously, Glaive deep enough. One might have gotten Magus, we didn't get to see from his POV, but still. Zipnik's very aggressive from ramp room behind this smoke. Waiting for it to clear. Molotov deep in towards Squeaky Door room, and you have to wonder how long Zip is going to stick around as soon as this starts to fade. He's got the timing on it. Molotov coming out next just to delay anything. Jax goes through. They all come through. Zip can line them all up, and the other 3, they've been separated by the Molotov, so Zipnik's plenty of time to fall back and allow Device to get in a position with the rifle.
Well, that is actually textbook, isn't it? That is the timing that should be there if you want to learn how to play that position as soon as that smoke is gone. Next up, the beautiful headshot, and actually Dupree trying to flank, and he gets called on that. So awkwardly a 3-on-3. The rest of the team just betraying all the good work that Sip has already been doing.
Oh, Magisk thought they were actually coming out. He thought they were committed. He turns the corner and pre-fires, and this has given G2 exactly what they needed into the upper bomb site in a situation. The way this looks on the minimap, there's no way G2 should lose this. A 3-on-2. Zip is still over in ramp room. He's nowhere close, and I think Glaive is going to see if he can find anything to go for this, but more than likely he's going to have to give it up. Smoke towards Squeaky Door. Lures Kenny S out into the open. He dinks him, but can't finish off the kill. And that's got to be the signal to back away. There's no time left. No kills on either of these players.
Yeah, this doesn't really seem possible. Sip is going to give his life, and Glaive, they line up for him, but I think even if then, it would have been almost no time at all. Hunter with the triple and G2 with the surprise round. I think even worse, Magus died in a position where his ragdoll sort of fell on top of the box, and as a result, when Glaive had to try and take that fight, he had to sort of look through it. So that was really unfortunate.
Well, I think also that push from Dupree, the positioning of Device in ramp room, just in that corner, the off angle, he never thought they'd be, he had to just assume that they would have never expected him to be in that position. I think that's some overextensions on the Astralis side that get punished by G2, which is really what allows them to even win that round in the first place. So some mistakes coming out, but nice job capitalizing on them from G2.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even the heads-up play from Hunter to turn around to watch for the flank was great. But yes, some definite mistakes out of the Astralis side, which we're obviously not looking for now. This might be one for G2. Just be careful about taking that fight 1 versus 1. Another Deagle headshot from Dupree this time to take down Hunter. And just like that, it's a 4-on-3. And 2 scouts are in play, and they could definitely do a lot of damage here.
I think Nexa's going to try and clear the upper bomb site because they can still go up the ramp. They can evacuate entirely. Good job from Jax with that M4 and slowly Astralis, despite the early success of the Deagles. The rest of these weapons are tough to manage. The Scout, that's definitely not the ideal place for, but he still does massive damage to Nexa. Is that just a falling shot? He just got lucky?
I think so. Yeah, that's a bit much. I even thought that, you know, maybe from the Vice point of view, I was thinking, might not want to be jumping like that. They will clean up the round, surviving on low health on all 3 players, but that'll tie it all up. 9-9.
And a great chance to take the lead. Astralis doesn't really, they have no more money. Everyone's sitting between 2,500 and 2,900. So you can't spend any cash. And now you're at the point of your G2 where if you can actually control the economy for a good stretch of you know, moving forward, you can actually find a way to maybe sneak this map away from Astralis. Like, winning the economy game is the first step to causing a massive upset, right?
Yeah, I mean, most especially true, I say, like on a map like this, where those Molotovs are so crucial to stopping A rushes, for instance, and even in retakes. Yeah, I think that's going to make a real big difference.
Deep Molotov and attacking over towards Control, and Glaive burns alive as well. That's actually brutal. Smoke comes out just a little bit too late.
They are so aggressive right now, G2. I like this flavor. If you're going to be picking up, you know, Nexer and Hunter as sort of almost a bit of a surprise to the community, then it's nice to see them play with this kind of a passion early on. I've got a question, though.
Yeah, I love your questions.
That chicken, Pascal.
Yeah.
What, it's got a pocket on its side.
A pocket?
Yeah, like it's sort of where the wings are, I guess.
Okay, is it like a zipper pocket or just like a...
No, it's just like an open pocket, but what is that for? Like,
maybe he wants to carry things around. What do you have in your pocket? Maybe it's the cell phone, a little bit of extra bird feed.
It could be that, carrying around some snacks.
Some snacks for later.
It's not impossible. I'm just wondering from the design of it, you know, maybe there was like, you know, some intention behind that.
I think it's supposed to... you know what? Let's not even go down this road.
All right. Feeling uncomfortable about that topic? Fair enough. We don't have to.
Last time when we were introduced to Pascal for the first time, I got yelled at for calling him an angry bird. I don't want to attract his anger again.
Well, fair enough. We'll leave it alone for now. We'll do some investigation later. Sip, very, very tight angle. Device falling in, and it looked like half the ramp push there realized that was going to happen, and Kenny didn't.
Yeah, that Molotov was coming out as well. If he had just waited to try and make that jump a couple seconds, Device likely wouldn't have been there or would have taken massive damage. Doing so, good spin from Magus. He's got some more pressure, but they can't catch him. He does get around the corner. A little bit of trouble getting out of Hut, but he's into safety now. 4 on 3 and 2 MAC-10s on this T side. It makes this a difficult round for them to overcome. Jax, though, is still holding on to ramp room.
Good. Ramp is like some kind of staging area for this map, but it isn't the final goal. Obviously, you've got to make it past that. And now they have it down towards the B bomb site. 35 seconds. Got to cross this line that Sip is holding, and yeah, he just kind of wants to hold it to spot them out. Call for backup. The smokes reveal exactly what's coming. Going to be opening the door just to toy with them a little bit. The bomb. Oh, he's got the right idea. That is dangerously close. And ice cold Amanek on the other side, continuing with the bomb plant. Kind of impressed by that.
A lot of this is going to be out of that position from Jax, but remember, he can get spammed as well. We'll see if Astralis goes for it. Hunter's got 1 kill. That's on a Device. They are spamming, and Jax has moved out of the way. He does a little bit of damage, and all of his teammates are dead now. Now it's all on him, and he's almost got the second. There was a real chance there. And Astralis going to tie things up, but they take massive losses.
Yeah, they really do. That actually got very, very close to being a win. Sip with the triple. They save the AWP, and Astralis now tying it up in return. 10-10. But that was great. That was a 4 versus 3 that they almost won. Yeah. And it was a 4 versus 3 where it was even signaled quite a bit in advance where they were coming. So it wasn't even kind of a surprise. I think, but they had, what, 2 MAC-10s? Yeah. So even then, you know, you could say maybe they could have done even more.
Well, I mean, yeah, damage in a plant with the 2 MAC-10s, you have to be happy with that. They have, I mean, Nexa has 10K, Jax is right below 10K as well. So the money is still flush for the G2 side, and the Kriegs, the AK, the AWP on Kenny S.
Did he break the hand warmer? The entire keyboard is gone, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
I think he might have broke the hand warmer.
I don't think so. No one looks...
Oh, no, they're fine?
No one looks bothered.
All right. I was sensing a moment.
Yeah, you really, that was like a Spidey senses. You were not excited for anything.
I was
you had a
getting
really
worried.
bad feeling.
That has happened in the past.
It has happened in the past.
But looks like we're fine. No hand warmers have been broken. Everything is good. Device and Kenny with an orb each. Nexa on 20 kills. Hunter on 18. They're making a strong case right now why picking them up was a really good idea.
I believe there's a gap in that smoke. Device over the flames.
Gap.
Yeah, that is not a gap. That's a straight up opening. Yeah, they knew it as well. Not wanting to mess with it. The timing's not there. It's almost there. Ooh, they're going to boost up over as well. Kenny waiting for his moment. There's the flashback. Now he's got a full glimpse of the outer yard, but he sees nothing, which has got to be unfortunate. And there goes Device. How is that found? Jax. No smoke, just lands a nice shot.
21st round here. Nearing the end, you mentioned the economy earlier as being one of the keys to maybe beating Astralis on this map, and they're so close to doing it. G2, what a headshot from Hunter. Now 5 versus 3, and the Danes are out of money after this.
Yo, a reset in this round on Astralis is going to be so brutal. Good kill from Kenny. Yes, they're taking everything away from the Astralis defense, and now you just have what? Dupree with a shotgun in the hut, Zipnik's alone in the lower bomb site. It's a 5-on-1 no matter where G2 decide to go.
Now Max 7, I mean, it's almost impossible to continue any kind of a fight.
And Nexa has the bomb. He's outside still. He's at the blue bin. Like they're just waiting until they know exactly what's going on. And now I think the call would be to go to that lower bomb site. But still, look how patient everyone is. This G2 team.
It would be funny if they walk near Dupree now and run out of time, but he looked like he's gone so far away that isn't even an option.
Yeah, there's no way. Even a Molotov in towards hut. So. Well, they've done it. 11th round for G2, but that's not even the big deal. The big one is the fact that Astralis has no money to fight with in the next round. Look at Zipnix and Glaive. They're at $0. Dupree at 100. There's going to be nothing to fight with.
Yeah, except the Max 7, maybe.
Because remember, they just won the previous round, so that eats into the losing bonus, goes, loses one stage.
Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble right here. Going to be 11-10, but could easily go way past that. Astralis need maybe a little bit of luck now, or maybe some good deagle shots if that's going to be on the lineup here. The Max 7 looks like it's going to be fine, so maybe that could even find some damage. But I guess they know this is maybe they don't know it's a Max 7, but they know something is being saved, and as a result, they're probably going to be a little bit careful in the upcoming round to try and avoid that. G2 back in the lead, and things are looking really good for them at the moment. You wonder, what are Astralis going to try and reply with? They've got 2 deagles as well to back this up, so tiny bit of a chance that they could do some damage here. I feel like there's a nice mix right now on the G2 team of sort of, aggressive decision-making when they need to, but also slowing it down. Sort of being able to say, you know what, let's just sit around and wait for a little bit, see if they give us any mistakes. I think that's such a good starting point for any team.
It is, and obviously from what we've seen, from the Major when they were playing with Crazy, and now early on in this game as well, the Hunter and Nexa just being able to take entry battles and win some of them. Good return from Amanek. Yeah, that had to just been an awkward timing for Glaive to peek out and get a double dink very quickly. But he's also set up a crossfire with this shotgun. So Amanek and Kenny S far along the wall, out of the range of the Max 7, and they're going to quietly make their way over towards the stairs.
Which probably is the right move, rather than, sniping away at them outside or looking for more fights there. Just leave him alone for a minute. Next, they're getting a little bit cut off from the rest of his team. And actually Jax is there too, so maybe not so much. Smoke. Ooh, nearly gets caught on the edge there. 40 seconds as they make their way down the Molotov. Dupree's going to try and beat the timing. And it would have been great if he could have got the kill on Amanek. Surely that would have been a key back into it. Magisk will get a headshot now. 30 seconds. The bomb is there. They still have all of the advantage. Oh my god! Magisk, what an outrageous round. A triple kill, and Glaive with a headshot on Kenny. And I don't even know what to say.
Those are the rounds that hurt so bad. They've done it again. What a turn. I mean, a beautiful shot from Magisk, as you said. This follow-up is very nice. Jax seemed like he didn't even notice his position, and just the one tap on a low HP Amanek from long range. Dupree didn't make the timing getting into vents with a shotgun, but the pistols got into position perfectly. 11-11, and that was a big advantage, a big chance for G2 to have a commanding lead down the stretch, taken away, ripped out of their hands.
Very early for Glaive to be out here at the top of the stairs. Hunter gonna make his way down, and actually that's gonna be Zip. They might have a big opening here. Dupree with the double kill, returning a little bit and defending the bomb site, falling down on the box, and he sees the second player. The flashbang to set it up, and Nexa still heads up play from him, and now Kenny. That bullet went right next to his head, didn't it, from Device? Can he get the bomb plant down and get into a good position? No, Device. He's surely going to peek this. He doesn't. Kenny turning his back. I don't know. He doesn't realize how much danger he was just in.
Well, Device thought he was behind the silo. Yeah. Device didn't think there was a world in which he planted in the open, so a chance for Kenny S.
Big chance here, finding it, turning around. What a play. Now he just needs the headshot here. Device walking into it, and he's going to go down. Kenny with a beautiful 1 versus 2 clutch, making up for last round.
That's so crazy how bold Kenny S. Planting in the open, even turning your back, just trying to fool him with the door as well. And he is so fortunate. Device, I had him on his, I had his POV on my screen. He was just zoned in on the left side of that silo the whole time. He thought that he was just planning behind it the entire way. Thought he would be able to pin him down for his teammate to come over. Not even a mistake. Just an unfortunate, I mean, that's how you'd read the play, right?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Well, Kenny played that brilliantly.
He did.
That was very, very cool. So normally that would be the launch pad for Astralis to just go to the stars, I guess. And this time, not so much. 12-11 instead.
The benefit of them winning that eco, though, earlier on, they have the money for weapons. In fact, they're going to invest into this round out of the timeout. Their first timeout of the half. They're going to have a double up setup, and around those double AWPs, they're going to invest in pistols. Dupree's got the Deagle, Glaive and Zip, they're going to be on the 5.7s with a little bit of utility. Now, if G2 win this round, everything is primed for an upset.
Yeah, absolutely. Making their way out. Amanek charging. Actually, having a Mac 10 in a round like this is brilliant, because obviously right now Astralis would love slow fights where they can snipe away, but a Mac 10 running rampage through the back line is anything but that. Now they're up on the bomb site, Sip goes down, and the bomb is going to be planted. I think save those AWPs already.
Absolutely. Bail out. That's the one thing Astralis was not set up for. Just one player in that upper bomb site with the 5.7. With the 2 AWPs, you're obviously putting them in ramp room so you can stack up towards other parts and be mobile in other parts of the map. Probably putting one outside. The heavy weaponry that you invested into was not at the point of attack. But the nice thing is if they keep them alive, they're going to try again in the next round.
Yeah. You get to have one more shot at it. Amanek ready to jump down. Ooh, I am actually kind of surprised that Dupree's able to get that shot. I like everything about what Amanek was doing, man.
I know. I want him to do it again.
Yeah, it's showmanship, isn't it?
Yep.
Magus could devise, though. Quite far away with the orbs and fairly safe positions. Nexa, maybe he can take one single shot here. Not going to be able to. So 13-11. The orbs are saved, and they get him at 10 in the meantime. But they're right on the edge, Astralis. Of losing the map, that is. It's a best of 3.
Yes, it is. Still, I mean, for G2 to come in here with 2 new players that just came in today, the first time, essentially, you think they were playing together, take Nuke from Astralis, that's pretty impressive stuff.
It is not bad at all. That would inspire some confidence, which I think, you know, anytime you put together a new lineup, it is always nice to have early victories. It postpones, you know, the internal arguments. It, you know, makes everyone feel a little bit better about the project. So
and makes you feel better about the potential that the team can show. A lot of pressure outside for G2. Kenny using his utility. Glaive is going to be very, very far back towards CT spawn. He does not have anything, just the USP. Those AWPs, one of them is on Device. The other one on Magus. Magus over in the windows looking outside, Device in the upper bomb site. And Astralis is desperately trying to get into position, and still, this is 2 rounds now where the ops are their only big weapons that they can fight with, and they haven't really been able to find any clean targets, have they?
Yeah, and Device even now to the point where he's saying, you know what, if we're not going to be able to sort of, you know, walk into any shot, we're just going to go look for it, and that actually pays off pretty heavily. They line up for him, that could have almost been a 2-for-1, and Magus now there, the orbs working exactly as designed. Sip goes down, but it's still a 2-on-3, and the bomb and even Nexa and Amanek are quite far apart from each other. How do they combine to get into this bomb side? Device got a new position here. Legs Amanek, and with the return coming up from behind, they've almost got Amanek outside. I think it's not that far away. Nexa. Oh, could he maybe do it? Sneaking in 20 seconds. He's the only one with any real health, and yeah, there's that corner player coming out. Dupree, the timing is so good for him to take down Nexa, and Amanek can't do anything at all. We've had some ridiculous round wins out of Astralis in this first half, or second half even.
Ooh, there's the gun barrel. Amanek might chase it down. He's going to go up. He's going to lose the round. Does he want to actually take these fights? He wants to take it off away from Aegis, and he's done it. He does go down. He gets no bonus money. I'm not entirely sure that was worth it, because I mean, Astralis has plenty of cash now, but you're right. This is two big hiccups that G2 has had. Remember, they lost the round against just the Pistols earlier on. Now they've lost against, I mean, fair play, it is a double op. But I mean, those are the rounds that are going to really, really haunt you, even as just a brand new team. Timeout called by G2.
Yeah, now might be a good time for it. You've got the lead. You could have probably been closer to like 15-10, if not for some of those rounds. I mean, you could have maybe already run the map in some sense. So, don't want any more of that. Now it's time to really buckle down here with your G2 and make sure you close this one out before Astralis start to wake up. And I mean, if on the other hand, if G2 lose this round, their economy is going to be broken, and you know, Astralis could end up almost walking away with the map.
Right, but you know, no matter what happens, the takeaway from this for G2 has got to be Nexa and Hunter, 44 kills. Feeling good about those two that you've brought into play this event with you. Molotovs and utility out for the defense. All 5 players from G2 are outside. Another gap in the smoke. And Device has the angle on it. We saw him previously put down a new smoke, and they're going to do it again here. So nade damage, the spam comes out, the nade might do it. Hunter's brought very low.
They're going to go for the boost on top. Now Kenny scoped up, so he won't see Glaive back there. I was going to say, if he jumps, that's dangerous.
And the smoke cleared just when they busted up that stack, so the timing could have been horrendous.
Flashbang to set up for the peak. Oh my god! He was fading away. He had no idea. That is ridiculous. Jackson next are not going to be happy. That was the right now, Astralis. No need to fight any further. Just leave this one alone. Already got the 5 versus 3, and they're low on health as well. That is such... I mean, the setup with the flashbang is already great, but...
Megas just played that so perfectly. I cannot believe he stood and fought and won each of those battles. That was a really beautiful sequence from him. Kenny S left all alone in a 1 versus 5. The AWP is out, the Molotovs are out of him. Megas is going to get a 3rd. What a masterclass of defense in secret. Yeah, I don't even think Glaive realized he was going to get a 2nd kill there.
I really doubt it.
He's just like, I'll take it. He's just trying to, I think it's like self-covering fire. Ooh, yeah, he definitely didn't notice that.
He's already switching at that point, you know. just... Well, that's all the money gone for G2. 13-13. And look at the money on the other hand on the Astralis side. Starting to build up a lot more. Oh man, this would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it? If, I mean, never mind if they can't, you know, beat Astralis on Nuke. That may have been the expected result, but the fact is, in theory, they almost have. But for a couple of rounds that probably were not necessary.
You could say that about so many teams over the past year against Astralis. They're like, we would have beat them, but they won a round with Deagles at the end. Yeah.
Pesky kids. Yeah.
Zip holding ramp room, and he'll get challenged. He spots a body. He's going to drop down. Device on the rotation over. He sticks around a little bit longer. I don't think Device will even peek too deep into this. He goes for it, finds one. Zip clears up close for him, so nicely done from those two. Molotov going to be behind Nexa, forcing him into Device's arms. And there goes Amanek as well. Pretty clean, standard round.
Just realized we might be a generation or two too late for Scooby-Doo references. Maybe it's... Did people watch that anymore?
Wasn't there like a Scooby-Doo comeback recently?
Was that?
There was something weird on the internet about Scooby-Doo.
Maybe it's back somehow. That would be cool. I would appreciate that.
I think they already tried to reboot it in like the late 90s.
Yeah, with like the
early
movie,
2000s,
right?
yeah, movie.
That was strange.
I didn't watch it, not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. It just felt like I was going off track at that point. Well, 14-13. Some money back in the hands of G2. I mean, the AKs are looking decent here. Obviously lacking a couple of grenades. But Astralis seem to have refound some of the rhythm. Now they're going aggressive. Kenny, though, absolutely shutting down Device. That's a powerful way to start the round.
They were even ready for the follow-up peek. Dupree's gonna grab the op. And an extra Molotov as well.
Who's guarding that vending machine?
Yeah, maybe he's got some cool drinks in there. A lot of monsters. Zip is playing in ramp room, deep. All 5 players on the attacking side are in lobby. They're just waiting. They haven't decided yet if they want to go towards ramp, they want to go towards upper. But actually, excuse me, now they've made their decision. 3 players pushing towards Zipnix. Who's going to fall down? Glaive to hold on. And there's Nexa, 2 big kills. He gets those in the upper bomb side. I think they were trying to get down vents, I would assume.
Oh, that could have been huge. I don't think they were expecting anything else. That was Hunter surely setting up with a flashbang for Nexa to get those 2 kills. He's got a triple, and that's going to be the end of the round. Tied up once again, 14-14. Nexa and Hunter, I mean, the kills, sure, but even just the synergy in some of these setups is really beautiful.
Where is this? Yeah, they were moving towards the vent, and it's just perfect timing for Nexa to take that peek. He'll take that all day. G2, I mean, with the power of Nexa and Hunter, showing some phenomenal resilience as a team. Remember, they come back in the first half. They were down 2-7 at one point. Able to recover in the first half. And now here, back and forth, they've survived 2 heartbreaking losses. And we're tied up down the stretch.
Once again, the smokes are cancelled out there by the Molotov thrown down by Astralis, which is, I mean, they were just trying to fake the wall anyway, but it's kind of annoying when you can go look on some of the silo and you can see, oh, well, they're going to be seeing that. There's not going to be any kind of a fake. Still committed to it, and I guess they did re-smoke outside, so maybe they could fool them. But if you fall flat now in your G2, it's going to be so deflating. And kind of the same for Astralis. Nobody really has any money to work with. Device a little bit, but it's not that much. This setup, though, in ramp could be huge.
Yeah, it very much could be. But Astralis has seen this before. Again, this is a new lineup, not having a whole lot of tactical depth. 5 players inside of lobby, Hunter throwing a fake. They want to pull Device back. It's not happening. Device and Zip against the back wall. There's the first kill. The trade isn't there from Zip. And Device knows he cannot take a wide peek any longer. He saw them slide into position. That means the rest of his teammates will have to be the ones to rotate downstairs.
Hammond taking a fair bit of damage, but yeah, they at least make it down the ramp. 35 seconds here. I think the entire map, more or less, is going to be on this round, and G2 need that bomb plant fairly quickly. Try and get in there. They don't have any more grenades or anything. I mean, 1 HE, but no smoke, so Molotov to buy time. Bomb plant needs to be quick about it. They are putting it down now. A bit of a strange fight happening. The door gets popped open. Kenny hitting the shot with the AWP, and now it's a 4-on-3. Hunter with a headshot, taking down Glaive, and it's looking so good, yeah. And they need these rifles. Device, not even clear that he can. If Hunter stands up now, or at least walks up, he would have caught him. But that's a 4-on-4, and they just make it clean.
That was very nice from G2, and even if they had caught Device, it was so close. But remember, he's the only one with money. He's the only one that can really drop a rifle over. Dupree might be able to do it as well in the next round. And if I'm G2, I am hunting these guns. Device, not even going to take the fight, going to slide over. That is well played from G2, because remember, Astralis was set up perfectly for it. 2 players inside ramp room.
Yeah.
Device at the corner. You had Zip as well along that wall, just set up for the trade, and unfortunately that does not pan out. And G2 have a chance to steal the win right off the bat in this first map.
It's kind of incredible that they actually win the follow-up fight versus Zip, because I'm assuming if you get shot there, not only will you obviously be looking for the AWP to re-peek, but you might even be looking for another player at ramp, or like, you know, actually on the ramp itself.
I think the peak was awkwardly shallow for Zipnix. This would be a huge pick to get. Kenny takes a lot of damage from the Molotov. Actually, not too bad, 25, but he stands in it for quite some time, hoping someone's going to run in. Follow-up nade is going to return that damage onto Zip.
Yeah, so an early engagement. 15-14 here. Map point for G2. Just need a bit more. One good opening. Glaive rotating outside. They've been holding out here for quite a bit now, G2. Maybe expecting some sort of push up. Kenny now trying to shoot through the building. Under a minute now on the clock, and Glaive is still moving up close to that garage. They really, really want the information here, Astralis. I don't really blame them.
No, but also on the other side of the coin, what do you call if you're G2? You haven't even had any time to put anything together, and here you are, a chance to win the map, and you have to call the winning strategy. Hunter and Amanek outside, 3 players in lobby, might be trying to pull off some kind of a split. The question is, how efficient are they going to be at hitting the timing? Jax looks like he's ready to peek up. If he clears Magisk out of this position, he's going to do it. That's beautiful. Might even be worth the immediate trade, but no one else. There's no more power behind those entries. And Debris going to hold on to the bomb site perfectly. It's all on to Almanac in a desperate 1 versus 3, but it's looking like overtime.
Yeah, I mean, if they have to go and fight him kind of like this, if they do it one more time, maybe he's got a chance. He gets another headshot, and Dupree will take him out. That is overtime, and again, probably Astralis could have played that much, much more safely. It ends in a 1 versus 1. Overtime on the first map. What an exciting way to get this best of 3 started. Next, at the end of it, on 26 kills.
Yeah, 22 for Hunter, 23 for Almanac. That's a strong 3-man performance from those guys. Dupree at 22, so is Device, and Glaive not far behind at 20 on the Astralis side of things. 15-15. I did not expect this much resistance from this G2 team coming in so early. I don't think anyone did.
No, definitely not. I mean, obviously, one of the upsides also is it's kind of hard for Astralis to know what to expect, but just from the firepower department and just some of the basic changes of pace that we're seeing, I'm kind of enjoying this. I think this is the beginning of something fun. A lot of grenades outside on Kenny, and they're pushing up by that red container, which they haven't been doing a lot in this game, but in the past Astralis games we've seen on Nuke, it's been really fun to see Glaive work out in the smoke.
We'll see. He's been so good in this position. Kenny's not clearing all the way. Glaive's going to see that. It's going to be a free kill. The follow-up is not there. Almost. Almanac down to about 34 health. That's an important trade for outside, and even the smoke follow-up to block off Device, though a little bit of a gap underneath that could spell his doom if he swings out wide too far. Instead, he's just going to back away, and the rest of G2 lining up towards ramp room to attack Xyp9x one more time.
And when that smoke clears outside, though, Device, if he sticks around, is going to know that nobody else is showing himself. So it's all going to be on Sip. He's got a Molotov he can throw behind him because they're going to get really, really close. Sees it, falls back around the corner. Yeah, wants to make sure they're not going to chase him down, and that makes a lot of sense. 50 seconds now, and they are low on health on 2 out of 4 players here on the G2 side. That's a really big problem. They're looking for that aggression on the Astralis team, which has happened before, and they're expecting it again. But now instead, it looks like more than anything, they're just wasting their own time. What do you do about that? Smoking off Mini. Magisk is on the other side. 25 seconds. They need a clean win here early on in this fight, or it's not going to be working out. They'll simply run out of time. Dupree with a bit of a shoulder peek, drawing all the attention away. And they split the kills evenly here. 15 seconds on the clock, and now more backup is coming in. That's such a beautiful 8 defense. The fact that Dupree shows himself first makes that position so much safer for Magisk.
And Astralis seems to have caught on if you go towards the end of regulation as well. Now in this first round of overtime, it's going to get increasingly difficult for G2 to put T rounds on the board because you're pretty much just rinsing and repeating some of the things you've already called that have had success, and you're just hoping to replicate it. But you don't have that deep playbook. And Astralis, one of the best teams we have at adapting and changing to counter exactly what you like to do. Ooh, this is aggressive, and certainly they heard that. I think that's Nexa.
Yeah, but look at the fake. Glaive trying to pretend to be sort of wall banging it and closing it like no one's there. And I guess that kind of worked because Nexa walks forward, not ready to take that fight. That's pretty clever. He will go down anyway. Magisk with a follow-up, and now they're just trading all over the place. 3-on-3 here. The bomb still lingering in lobby. It's now a 2-on-2. They just so short interval between these kills.
Yeah, just a brutal round, back and forth. Glaive is coming up through Mini. Xyp9x is going to come up the ladder. They have to decide exactly how they want to take this. Glaive, 1 HE, smoke and flash on Xyp9x. Oh, this is both at the vent. That is a bit crazy. We'll see how this pans out. That flashbang could grab both of them. Xyp9x doesn't even check it whatsoever. Glaive knows where at least one is, but he never spotted the second. That should give it away, the gun usage, but there was nothing that Glaive could do. Nice round, nice trading from G2 from start to finish to finally break their way into a bomb site.
Really, really well done. Looked like it was about to go horribly wrong, but good trading all throughout and just keeping their eyes on the target there. The fact that they both went into the corner, I agree. That sort of stuff can end really badly, but it seemed to have worked out this time.
Yes, it did. Device and Glaive outside initially for this defense, and actually Device is just going to back away. Deep angle with the AWP as the smoke comes in towards window, but Glaive is going to be playing in the warehouse. He might get some action presented his way. Hunter lining up for a flashbang. There it is, Glaive, an easy dodge, an easy spray down. He's got a double kill. Can't find the third, but he's done his job. There's Device for the pounce. And dupreeh, he's been great in upper throughout regulation. He's doing it again here in overtime. 2 rounds of the CT side in OT for Astralis. 2 more to get that first map victory.
17-16, yeah, they are once again a little bit ahead here, Astralis, and I don't know, that T side was looking really good, especially early on in regulation. It's not impossible that they can pull this one through, which at the end of it, yeah, probably everyone's going to look back and say, of course they ended up winning Nuke against this newly formed G2 lineup,
but there was some real chances, wasn't there, for G2?
Yeah, absolutely. Hard to say, I mean, it feels like G2 kind of are going to walk away from this first map winners no matter what, just in terms of proving something. But obviously that's not the same as, you know, in terms of
actually
the
winning.
Yeah, it's, you know, obviously that's what they're after, right? But
I mean, those are the arguments you only make when you lose.
It's true. Well versed of that.
Doesn't take any power out of it.
There we go, blowing up the door, the Molotov in the mini. A lot of grenades being exchanged early on. Still quite far back on the map are Astralis, with no smoke wall outside, sort of waiting for it a little bit here. Not too worried about that. And slowly Amanek is making his way up the secret stairs. And then, yeah, they're going to set it up quite a bit later in the round here.
Interesting sequence of smokes outside. A perfect gap for Kenny. Oh, he just took his attention away. He's going to be frustrated with that. He was there the whole time. But Amanek's got a double up waiting. Device jumps right into it. And Glaive, he's gotten close to Mini inside the smoke. He's going to gamble with it. They can split this upper bomb site. Hunter, his attention will be taken by Glaive, but he's got plenty of players to look at for the door. The timing of this is everything.
He falls back down. Glaive heard that, and he knows exactly where to peek. Magus with the follow-up, and that is a perfect entry into the bomb site. That bit of noise being made. But if he had stayed up there, I mean, you could see the timing. At one point, he turned his back. That could have been just as fatal. Now dupreeh waiting back here. Oh, actually, Sip getting slightly Molotov'd out. But this double position here by Squeakdoor, even that's going to be really hard to clear. Jax walking in and not looking at the corner. A team kill, as I think Sip got killed inside of the smoke. That's very confusing. But that bomb is still ticking away, and time is simply running out here. Kenny and Amanek, are they going to be able to do anything with the last couple of seconds left? It doesn't really feel like it. Good kill for Amanek, and I think now they're just too low on time, no matter what here. And Magus will close the round with a nice triple kill. And that will be now map point instead for Astralis.
Yeah, 2 chances to close out this map. G2 Esports going back to the second, or to regulation. They only had the 1 chance at 15-14. So Astralis can put him away. Op on Device, only a single op for G2 this time. Amanek had one in the previous round, but it didn't give them the results they wanted. Molotov in towards Mini. Glaive going to be held off for the moment, and he's looking for Hunter. This could be an odd timing for Hunter. Once again, could be frustrating. He's got that first kill. Amanek's going to come from behind, certainly. Magus ready for it, though. What a turn. Immediate headshot. There's still 1 player inside the site, and support coming up the ladder.
Next has to stand strong here. The flashbang does nothing for him. dupreeh, though, still alive. Magus going down, but he was low already, and Device is there to help out, taking down Jackson. Now it's Kenny with 1. He tries to flick it, and he's so lightning fast, but also on 7 health. And what do you do now? dupreeh going to play a little bit of a deeper game and try and get down, and he's so far away that Kenny can't hear the running. So if you get this bomb down with Kenny being far away, I don't know what you do with your Kenny.
Well, the hard part, he might want to pick up an AK-47 or a rifle at some point. I think that'll be the question. He doesn't want to give away the game quite yet, doesn't want to make any noise and let dupreeh know where he is, but that might be important as he's going to have to rotate to this lower bomb site. Doesn't even hear this plant. And the hard part now is he's so far away from the bomb sites, he's kind of got to gamble on which one it is. He's going to find out that he's got to drop down the vents at this point, and this will be where he switches his weapon for sure.
Yep, thinking about it.
Maybe not.
Still has that AWP, so he's all in on 1 shot here to try and save them from losing the map. And dupreeh, he hears it. He absolutely knows what's coming. A little bit of a step, and that's going to be the map. Nuke goes to Astralis 19-16, and that is a very, very hard-fought map for sure for both sides. A bunch of mistakes being made on the Astralis side, and I mean, that could have almost cost the map. Nearly did. G2, I would say, surprising us with coming at a high level for this kind of a new lineup.
Yeah, a great performance, obviously, from the new additions, from Nexa and Hunter. They powered this G2 lineup, and that was pretty cool. And as we said, chances for them to win it. So, I mean, you do have to be happy in a way if you're G2. This whole event, it feels like it's basically going to be like, let's see what we've got. Let's see what we can build on and what's going to be nice. Either way, we have the analysts ready. They're going to be able to expand on that map. Expound? Does that work? Either way, the desk is here. Please take it from me.
Yeah. I've got just about all my parts around here. You know, honestly, everything that we expected. No, here they come, kind of wandering in like a bunch of baby sharks. What's up, guys? What happened?
Trace, you want answers, right?
I don't know.
Usually,
That's what we're here for. To give you a few answers.
So answer me that.
So here's the problem. This is the situation at hand. The wisest person I know made this tweet yesterday. This tweet right here.
Was it me?
He said,
Oh.
Malmö is going to bring some interesting results. If you're expecting these teams who just flew in for the States to be performing anywhere near 100% tomorrow in the best of ones, I've got snake oil I want to sell you. Now, this isn't the best of ones, this is the best of threes. Astralis are not playing at 100% right now, but what is crazy impressive is this G2 roster literally got together today. Like they had dinner for the first time last night at Vapiano's, I'm being told. That's the reports. This team also is now 3 French players, one of who doesn't speak English very good, playing with 2 Serbian guys who have just come together, and they're making it work. It was competitive. It was a map like Nuke. What is going on?
And that brings me to my next point. Monster Energy, the energy drink that you need to have right by your
Flowing through the
bedside,
veins.
by your computer. No, but in all seriousness, yes, this was a showing of force here for G2 to come out here and actually make more than a statement, but actually come out here and show just some fight in them against the world's best. I don't know if that's more of a testament to Astralis coming fresh off of an airplane or the fact that G2 just might have that new team feel.
It has to be a bit of both. I will say, though, that I don't think Astralis played that bad. I think G2 made it bad for them. I think G2 played a decent game. I mean, they played up to the strengths they had. It was very simple. It was, you know, just having the outside smokes working around them, trying to get down to the lower bomb side, trying to bully Sipnix a little bit towards ramp as well. They constantly pushed him away, and he wasn't having the best game either. So they did everything they could in order to put them in a favorable situation. But, of course, Astralis is not playing up to their best right now. Astralis is a team that should be able to manhandle a team that is relative, like they're not even a team yet,
yeah,
right,
no,
as you said.
but let's really factor this in, right? Because you were playing the grand final of ESL1 New York, right? And you've come here. Of course you're going to be drained, right?
Sure.
Trace and I, we're in a similar boat. But unfortunately, or fortunately for us, we just have to talk. So our job's much easier than theirs of having to concentrate and play. But someone who has a difficult job is probably the best owner in esports, who is a genius, Carlos, the owner of G2.
I just saw him stab a cake the other day.
Yeah,
It's
well,
wild.
he's a madman, but somehow he's made this roster move happen for free, and they're looking competitive on day 1.
Day 1. This might as well be day 0. These are 2 officials that this team has played up to this point. We'll look at the scoreboard. We'll run the numbers for you because there's certainly a conversation to be had about what is now G2 Esports and the direction they're headed here, of course, here at DreamHack Masters.
I think we got to talk a lot about him, man, and I think he's a man for the future as well. He was in Renegades, what is it, a year, 2 years ago now? He wasn't really doing anything good over there. He didn't really found his footing over there. Maybe it was a little bit too early in terms of his career. Now, ever since he got back to European soil, he's been playing hearts out. He was the main guy for me within that crazy lineup. I think he's super, super good. He makes a lot of space with the rifle. He's very aggressive. He's also the in-game leader. He does a lot of stuff to a very high level, and he's still relatively, not unproven, but he's still relatively new at this level.
Okay, well, let's not get too far off the rails here because
it's too late.
It's our yeah, that is true. But it is Astralis that do pick up the first map.
Yeah, sure.
We have another map to talk about. That's going to be Dust 2, G2's pick. And after seeing what we just saw, does everything you've ever believed come into doubt?
Well, look, have you ever seen the Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one of those underdog stories, and this is one where I could believe there is a world where G2 somehow win Dust 2. Kenny's on form, Nex is looking good, Hunter gets the aim map now, Jax is going to be feeling himself on a map like Dust 2 more so. Amanek, why not, right? Why not? Because I'm not going to detract from Astralis. I'm not going to give them any negative critique because there's no point in the environment right now. Right. I'm going to put myself in their position. I'm going to think about what they're feeling and how they're going through this. They should win, but I'm not going to sit here and critique their mistakes, even though that is my job. It wouldn't be fair of me.
Well, I mean, that's the only fair thing to do, you know, Chad? I mean, Jacob, give me some closing thoughts here on the first map of Dust, or Nuke, my bad, not Dust 2, we're not there yet.
I mean, they got it done right in the later stages. Getting into the OT, you felt that this was a game that could go both ways, but I think Astralis showed up, you know, they have that extra gear if needed be, and I think that's why they're also going to win Dust 2. I think Astralis is afraid of losing Dust 2. If they go into a third map under these circumstances, being jet lagged, being tired right now, that's going to be a problem, and that's where I start to fear for them. Now they have a cushion to fall back on. They have Dust 2, which I believe is a good map for Astralis, so still, you know, sticking by the Danish boys, and they should be winning it 2-0. But as you said, with the way they're playing right now,
They're looking good.
Nope,
He said 2-0. He said not even double digits.
No, I
he
said
said this.
potentially.
He said that. It doesn't matter.
You know.
We're going to go to a break.
We'll
Coming
sort it
up
out.
after the break, we've got another map coming your way. A second one, Dust 2 on the cards. It's going to be G2 Esports versus Astralis. Just trying to make it through the upper bracket, staying alive here. It's G2 that's putting on a show, but it's going to be Astralis trying to make it to the arena.